Welcome to Toffee TV. Here's the match reaction. Crystal Palace 1, Everton 2. The Toffees roll on. Another tremendous win for David Moyes, and that's 4 wins and a draw in the last 5 games. 13 from 18 points he's taken. Unbelievable start to his second stint at Everton Football Club. And before we start, I just want to say thank you to David Moyes, because the connection is back. The connection with the team and the fans is back. Watching my team go and try and win games of football is so enjoyable. It's so I'd fallen out of loving watching Everton in these last 2.5 years with the previous regime. As decent as a job as he did sort of last season, this season has been horrific. Some of the worst I've ever seen, if not the worst I've ever seen. But Moyes has come in and changed that up, and today, an absolutely outstanding victory. This is probably, for me, the best win we've had since Moyes has returned. Yes, we played brilliantly for 70 minutes against Spurs. You know, we dug in and fought and scrapped at Brighton and won. Great win at home to Leicester where we destroyed them. 4 could have been 8 or 9. You know, and a really good hard-fought point against Liverpool, albeit I still feel a bit disappointed today when I think back, but because for me, they were there for the taking. They weren't great the other night. But today, to go down to Crystal Palace with 8, or it might even be 9 first team players out injured, and they had their full team, basically everyone back, is an incredible day's work. You know, we were doing the preview sort of yesterday or Thursday, and we obviously knew N'Jai was out and no Decore, and you're thinking, okay, this is going to be really tough. They are, you know, like Palace, they're not great at home. I think only Southampton have won less than them at home, but they are very good away, but they were above us, and we have got an outstanding record. And I'd seen yesterday that we'd only lost 1 of the last 20 against them, and that was with another negative manager in Benitez. And sometimes you look at those runs and think they've got to sort of come to an end at some stage, and this might be the time. But because we built up a good buffer going into the game, I was relaxed. I was thinking, okay, well, worst case scenario, we're still 10 points ahead of any kind of trouble. But best case scenario, we can draw level with them, and another goal, you know, a 2-goal swing would have seen us above them tonight, but we're obviously level, just a goal behind them. But going into the game, obviously the manager had to make 2 changes. Decore was suspended and Jai injured. He brought Charlie Alcaraz in. There was a bit of debate in the week of, the last couple of days, who would it be him or would it be Tim Irabunum? He went with Alcaraz, and Jack Harrison played on the left-hand side instead of N'Jai. The bench has 3 young lads on who haven't got a second haven't made their Everton debuts after Martin Sheriff, Kobe Bear and Isaac Heath. None of them have even got onto a football pitch for Everton. We had 2 goalkeepers, and then it was Ashley Young, Tim Irabunum and Michael Keane on Everton's bench today, and that was it. In Crystal Palace were lauding the fact that they were able to bring back Eze and Wharton and Nketiah and players like this, you know, Ben Chilwell, and there was a lot of fanfare about this. And the lads just went out and got on with it. Palace started the game quite well, I thought. They were on the front foot. Jordan Pickford made a really good save early on. There was a couple of errors. James Tarkowski, after the highs of Wednesday, wasn't quite at the races today. It was just one of those games. He started off a little bit shakily and didn't really recover until the last 10 minutes after we scored, when we really needed them, and then he got important blocks in and headers, and we was James Tarkowski, we know. But we give it away in Mateta. You don't want him having the ball middle of the goal. Drove it in, and Pickford made a really good strong hand and kept it out. And then we give another one away where he ends up with another shot. And we were just a little bit off it. We looked a little bit tired. They looked a bit sharper to everything. They'd obviously had, you know, a couple of days longer than we did and had made changes. So we're a bit fresh, and it showed, I think, in the first 15 minutes. But once we sort of rode that out, the game settled down, and our first real shot was from Alcaraz, 35 yards out, you know, little flick inside and a shot which, excuse me, tickly throat and shouting when we scored, which the keeper saved comfortably, but it was a shot. It was, you know, we're up and running now. And then he had another one not long after. It was a little bit wilder, but it was on, and we sort of grew in confidence from then. Beto battled brilliantly up against, you know, Gay, up against LaCroix. Really had to work hard, and Richards, the other big lad, the big young American lad, they had to really battle and scrap with them, and hold up play was much better today. Strong. Okay, sometimes it bounces off him, don't care. He gives people a rough afternoon, and that's what he was doing. You know, we had a Decisive and Gay just everywhere, hoovering everything up. Don't think James Garner had his best game today. You can see he's trying to feel his way back into play, and he's only back in his starting games earlier than what I think David Moyes would have liked him to have done. And that was kind of the springboard. We had a Lindstrom, a lovely ball from Harrison, Jesper Lindstrom, with a volleyed ball across the 6-yard box, and the keeper Henderson does really well, because if he misses it, Beto's got a tap in at the far post and keeps Palace alive. They had a goal disallowed for the ball going out off a corner. You can see it clearly on the camera that it goes out. Not clearly, but you can see it's gone up. But the linesman put the flag up immediately, and therefore you have to go with that. It's always a difficult one, that, because where did he draw the lines? How do you do it? So you have to sort of go with the linesman, and he gave that. We had a big scare when some dreadful defending from us let them waltz through about 3-4 plays, and it broke the side, and he wrapped it off the underside of the crossbar. It was a big moment for us. But we took the lead. They had the throw, and Tyrek Mitchell threw it, and they just weren't ready for it, and it's gone behind the midfield player Lerma, and Alcaraz is onto it like a shot, gets his head up, looks up, feeds it into Beto, and Beto draws the keeper and just clips it past him to put us 1-0 up. And a good finish, calm finish from Beto, another goal. You know, done his confidence. He's flying now, isn't he? Create chances, he will score goals. It's as simple as that. This is a fella who Sean Dyche just give up on. Didn't do any work with him. Didn't put any effort into him. Built him. Destroyed him. Knocked him down, really. That's why we saw the lad giving an interview in tears earlier in the season. And that, at the time, should have really been looked. We should have investigated. That should have been looked at. Why was he in such a low place? And you see him now, he's absolutely beaming, he's everywhere, knocking defenders over, bouncing people off him. And he took his goal brilliantly to put us up. And well, you sort of winning 1-0 at half time. And the thing, they were always going to make changes, because they had lost their way a little bit by the time we took the lead. They brought on Wharton and brought Eze on, who was a real threat, isn't he? And he goes on a run, they get a corner. And the corner, I'm sure we've conceded this goal before against Palace a few years ago. Corner comes in, we complete the first clearance to the edge of the box. But when it's hooked back in, it's really bad defending, as far as I'm concerned. Two players jump into each other, it goes up in the air, and as it comes back in, Mateta controls it and puts it past Pickford. It took them 3 minutes to decide he was onside. It was weird, because the first view you looked at, he looked onside. The other, when he spun it round the other way and zoomed in, it looked like his shoulder was just, and I'm slightly ahead of Beto, because he was with him. But if you can't look at it and go, he's offside, then without the AI, you know, brings that whole thing. And I know people will go, well, if he's offside, doesn't matter if it's a millimetre. I get that, and the AI will do that. The AI will go, he's offside, done. And we don't have to wait 3.5 minutes. Palace fans waiting to celebrate for 3.5 minutes. We're thinking, hopefully there's a chance it doesn't count. It did, and it's 1-1. And it was whether we could dig ourselves out of that little bit of a hole that was self-inflicted. They had a few good moments after that, where they sort of got us on the back foot a little bit. But we still carried the threat. We still looked like, at the other end with the right ball, we could score. And Lindstrom got in, good ball in round the side. Lindstrom cut it back, and Beto, I think he should have scored, really, or he'll feel like he should have scored. He's hit it straight to Henderson, made a good save, and it's gone out for a corner. So we did carry that threat from there, you know, with the Beto chance, and that was how we had to play. And I think Palace brought Chilwell on, got through a couple of times with a straight ball. And it was a case of having to make sure that we could defend it properly. They seemed to have loads of joy with one straight ball. Just don't think the defence was at it today. I think people started looking really tired. Third game in a week, down to our bare bones. No freshness. And Palace sort of played on that a little bit, but we did have some, you know, Branthwaite, a couple of really important interceptions. But Mykolenko did quite well today. O'Brien was a little bit hit and miss, done a lot of good things, kept kicking the ball out under no pressure. But we still did carry the threat. Beto a couple of times threatened to get in. You know, we do really well on the left-hand side. And Jack Harrison does well, puts a ball in. It's a header by O'Brien. It hits the arm of Chilwell. I think it would have been a penalty had we not happened. It hits his arm. It comes down. Ashley Young smashes it, and it comes to Charlie Alcaraz, and he's so composed to finish. Just side foots it past Henderson to give us the lead, and a brilliantly well-taken goal. His first goal for Everton, and he just took it so calmly and capped off a really hard-working performance from him. You know, we carried the threat. He's good with the ball. Got to be a little bit sharp. I got caught a few times, but was a real threat. You know, midfield player who can take the ball and shoot. You know, got a good range of passing. And then when you needed them, he'd come up big for us with a lovely, calm finish. Then it was, can we hang on? Can we dig it out? And it's that thing where I was obviously, this sounds mad, or maybe it doesn't sound mad, but at 1-1, I was less nervous than I was at 2-1, if that makes sense. We could have lost the game, but I was calmer. 2-1, because you've got something to hold on to. You know, in general, Tarkowski, who had been hit and miss all day, stepped up then. The last sort of 10 minutes after the goal, and then the stoppage time, 6 minutes, he was superb. We looked like we could get a third on the counter-attack. Some better choices near the end we might have done. They were putting dangerous balls and we were having to get blocks in. And, you know, him, Branthwaite, O'Brien, that's when they really stood up. Idrissa Gueye was everywhere, mopping everything. Beto battling, scrapping for everything, give them a real hard time. Was taking the fight to them, winning throw-ins down in their corner, doing everything you want him to do. He was really, really, really strong today. And that's what you need to see from him. You know, and in that form, you look and think, why were we even considering letting him go? Do you know what I mean? And listen, he's done brilliant. He's on 5 goals, I think, now. If he can, 4 since David Moyes come in. If he could get another 5 in the next sort of 13 games and finish in double figures, then that's fantastic, isn't it? And I think David Moyes will be having none of selling him. And you've got to bring better in. I think Calvert-Lewin will go. Broja, whatever you want to call him, has got to come back and do a lot for Everton, I think, to part with any kind of money for him in the summer. So therefore, and Timothy, we don't know, the season's been a write-off, so it might be a case of Everton looking for a striker who people would sort of agree is better than Beto, but having Beto within the squad to battle and scrap for it as well as somebody else. So it's a squad game now. You need these options, and he's doing everything right. And I'm sure David Moyes is delighted with him. He was brilliant today. Alcaraz was brilliant. Idrissa Gueye was brilliant, and I thought Mykolenko was really, really solid as well. I thought he had a good game as well. So unbelievable win for me. The best win of Moyes since he's returned so far, because it's a tough place to go, but we've had to dig it out with half a team basically, and we've done it. So what a result for the boys. And 30 points now, practically done. 2 more wins at see it in 13 games, but we should be looking at how high we can finish now. You know, we're in with the next bunch. If Spurs and United draw tomorrow, then, you know, we're up to 13th now as well. So Spurs and United draw tomorrow, that'll be lovely, won't it? So brilliant. Enjoy your weekend. What a victory. Man of the match for me, I'm going to share it. It's the first time I've ever done it. They're going to share it. Beto is going to be man of the match for probably his best ever display in an Everton shirt. Start to finish. Goal, physical, power, outlet, banged them, knocked them about, and they're good centre-backs. And he's going to share it with Charlie Alcaraz, who had thought on his full Premier League debut for Everton, scored the winning goal, was loads of really good moments, worked his socks off, set the goal up, a goal and an assist. That's got to always get you in the running for man of the match. So I'm sharing the men of the match, the players of the match, Beto and Charlie Alcaraz. Like, subscribe, do all that. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for watching. See you later.